Hey guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about power of exponents. So we've already gone into law of exponents with multiplying, dividing, negative exponents, zero exponents. So this is kind of second to last. We still have rational exponents, but I don't think those will be as bad as we think they are. Today we're just focused on power rule and combining all the rules together. So here we go. First, let's see what we're actually doing. So let's build a rule. Just like the other ones, we kind of expanded them. It's the same thing here. We're going to see what we're doing. So expand the problem. First off, what is the exponent all the way on the outside of the parentheses saying? It is a 4. So that means we're multiplying this expression 4 times. So 2x cubed y squared is going to be multiplying 4 times. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so from this step, you can kind of utilize the rules you already have, which is the multiplication rule, which tells us to multiply all coefficients and add all exponents that have the same base. So we have 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, and we have x3 times x3 times x3 times x3, and then we have y2 times y2 times y2 times y2. So all of that. Use our product rule, so we end up with 16x12 y8. So if you kind of look at what we're doing, if you notice, the x had an exponent of 3. Our outside exponent was 4. 3 times 4 gives us 12, which is kind of what we did. And then 2 times 4 gives us 8. So the only thing that we're missing now is that coefficient. So let's see. I think this rule am to the power of n, where a equals m times n, works out pretty great. The only thing is next unit we're going into binomials, which is 4x plus 2. This rule does not work for anything that is not a monomial. Okay, so in class I'm probably going to have you expand just to make our lives easier for next unit. So think of it like distributing to exponents only. Do not forget your invisible ones. And I hope you wrote those steps down. So let's look at the same problem. Remember, invisible ones, that 2 has an exponent of 1. So we're going to distribute this 4 to all of our exponents, like so. So 2 to the power of 1 times 4, x to the power of 3 times 4, y to the power of 2 times 4. So that gives us 2 to the 4th, x to the 12th, y to the 8th. And we can simplify further. 2 to the 4th power is actually just 16. So 16x 12 y 8. So it does work. And that's really all we're going to do with that. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. If you have actually, let's go into another example. So first thing, we are following the order. So multi-step problems, this is where we're combining all of our laws that we've learned so far into certain problems. So zero exponents should always start first. Always look for those zero exponents because those are just going to be 1. So we want to change all of those, the whole thing, to 1. Next, start inward and work your way out. Always start inside the parentheses and work your way out like PEMDAS. Next, parentheses, make sure you're going in, out. Product and quotient should come next, and then power rule. Those are interchangeable. So whichever one I see fit to go first is what I'm going to do, whichever one's the most obvious. And last, of course, we'll worry about our negative exponents all the way at the end. We'll do all of our rules, and then we'll go ahead and get rid of those guys at the end. So let's look at this problem. We have 2x to the 5th power, all raised to the 3rd power. And then we have 7x to the 7th power, all raised to the 2nd power. So we are going to put some invisible ones on this thing. So 2, 1, that 7 has a 1. X and X are good. So now we're going to use our power rule because there's nothing inside the parentheses. So before I can get to the rest of the problem, I need to get rid of that exponent on the outside of the parentheses. And since I have 2 parentheses, remember, the exponent only belongs to whatever is right after or right before it. So that 3 only belongs to 2x5. That 2 only belongs to 2x7. They don't share anything, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and power rule this. So that 3 is gonna distribute to the 5 and the 1. The 2 is gonna distribute to the 7 and the 1. We're going to end up with 2 to the 3rd, x to the 15th, 7 to the 2nd, and x to the 14th. Notice I got rid of the parentheses because I got rid of those exponents, and between the two parentheses, they were connected by multiplication since there is no sign. If there was an addition or a minus sign, then I would have to combine like terms, but they were just multiplication, so I can drop the parentheses. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and reorder this to go ahead and use product rules, sorry. So I'm gonna put my coefficients together and my x's together. So 2 to the 3rd, 7 to the 2nd, x to the 15th, x to the 14th. Let's go ahead and expand that. So 8 times 49, x to the 15th, x to the 14th. So 8 times 49 gives us 392 and x to the 29th power. And that's pretty much it. So like I said, some steps are interchangeable depending on what is in the parentheses and working our way out. It is kind of like PEMDAS, parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract. It's just how you see fit. Some things, if it's more outer in the parentheses, then we're not going to be able to complete the inner things first. So just make sure you know. That's why I said start with 0 exponents. And that's pretty much it for today. If you have any issues, hop onto Zoom. I'll be on there during class. Tomorrow's a great day. It's all practice, so I'll be able to help you more. Bye, guys.